Today we are going to use the Pythagorean Theorem to help us solve a real-world problem. Let's read the problem. In a computer catalog, a computer monitor is listed as being 20 inches. This measurement is the diagonal distance across the screen. The height of the monitor is 12 inches. Unfortunately, you need the width of the screen in order to see if it fits on your desk. What is the actual width of the screen? First, let's review what the Pythagorean Theorem is. Did you know that the Pythagorean Theorem is named after a Greek mathematician named Pythagoras? He made a lot of mathematical contributions in the 6th century BC during ancient times. What exactly is the Pythagorean Theorem? Pythagorean Theorem applies to all right triangles, like this one. Every right triangle has a right angle. A right angle measures 90 degrees. The side opposite to the right angle is called the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is the longest side of a right triangle. The sides adjacent to the right angle are called the legs. The Pythagorean Theorem says that the square of the length of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the legs. Or in other words, c squared equals a squared plus b squared. C is the hypotenuse and a and b are the legs. Let's plug in some values for a, b, and c and see if the right triangle is a right triangle. We can plug in 5 for c, the hypotenuse. We know that 5 squared is 25. The leg a measures 3, and 3 squared is 9. And the leg b measures 4, and 4 squared is 16. Now let's add 9 and 16. The sum of the legs are 25. We just proved the Pythagorean Theorem. We can find the length of a hypotenuse or leg as long as we have the measurements of 2 out of the 3 sides of a right triangle. Let's take a look at another example. The measurement of the hypotenuse is 15. Leg A measures 12, and the measurement of the other leg, or B, is missing. Let's use the Pythagorean Theorem to help us solve this. We know the Pythagorean Theorem formula is c squared equals a squared plus b squared. Let's substitute the values of c and a because they are the known values. Now we square both numbers. 15 squared is 225 and 12 squared is 144. Using our knowledge of algebra, we need to get the unknown variable b by itself. We have to subtract 144 and move it to the other side of the equation. 225 minus 144 is 81. 81 now equals b squared. This is not our final answer because we need to get rid of the square attached to b. In order to get rid of the square, we need to find the square root of both sides. The square root of 81 is 9, and the square root of b is b. Thus, the length of the missing leg is 9. Now that we reviewed the Pythagorean Theorem, let's go back to the real-world problem from the beginning of the video. Now, let's reread the problem. In a computer catalog, a computer monitor is listed as being 20 inches. This measurement is the diagonal distance across the screen. The height of the monitor is 12 inches. Unfortunately, you need the width of the screen in order to see if it fits on your desk. What is the actual width of the screen? Let's use this computer to help us label the measurements given in the catalog. The distance across the screen is 20 inches, and the height is 12 inches. Because computer monitors or screens are in the shape of a rectangle, we know that a rectangle has 4 angles. Therefore, we can connect the lines we created to form a right triangle. Don't forget to put the little box in the corner of the triangle to indicate that the triangle is a right triangle. As you can see, the measurement of one of the legs is missing. Let's label it B. Now, we can use the Pythagorean formula to help us solve this problem. The value of C, or the hypotenuse, is 20, and the value of A, or one leg, is 12. Let's square both of these numbers. Do you remember what we have to do next? Yes, you got it right. We have to subtract 144 on both sides of the equal sign. 400 minus 144 is 256. Now, what do we have to do next? Exactly. We have to find the square root of both sides to get rid of the square attached to the b. The square root of 256 is 16. So in order to answer the question in the problem, the width of the computer monitor is 16 inches. As you can see, we can find right triangles in real life, whether it be a historical monument or everyday objects. Even different professions use Pythagorean theorem in their daily work, such as architects, contractors, artists, engineers, athletes, and even interior designers. Just take a closer look, and you might find right angles right in your very own classroom.